Okay, here we go. Make sure to breathe in and try to really get that nice belly breath. We just don't breathe enough, and we definitely don't push it all the way out through our belly. So deep breathing is so important. It lets our body know that we want to open up the channels and we want to tap into our parasympathetic nervous system, which means peace. And we want to be in the parasympathetic, which is the rest and digest phase, out of the fight or flight. Breathing helps us do that. Okay, so breathe in. Okay, one more, you guys. I'm already feeling so much better, and I'll tell you why this is really helping in just a second. Awesome. Okay, that was really helpful for me. Let me tell you, so I'm sure you guys know, and you might have seen it and watched it last night. I watched it last night from our small town because I live in such a small town where we don't have the noise, the light pollution. So I was able to see the super flower blood moon eclipse last night, the lunar eclipse, and it was absolutely stunning and really gorgeous. It happened right around 9:30 my time last night, and it was pretty amazing to see. This eclipse energy that has been going on for the last 2 weeks, right? And just happened last night, early morning, depending on where you live in the world. So it was either, 9 o'clock last night, West Coast, or all the way, depending on where you live, into the morning hours. This eclipse energy has been intense, right? It has really been quite an interesting last 2 weeks. Mercury also went into retrograde on May 11th. So that's been interesting. And also May is the 5th month, and 5 is always represents change. So if you have been going through a lot of change, if you've been going through a lot of emotions, if a lot of stuff has been kicked up for you in the last 2 weeks, just know that energetically, we are really going through that in the globe right now. I have been really feeling this rising energy. The last 2 weeks have been really great for me. We have actually been really, it was a lot of confusion when it first started because we were really trying to decide whether we were going to be able to get to do a trip this summer or not be able to do a trip. I have had tickets, I don't know if you guys know, but I had 2 sold out retreats in the south of France in 2020. And obviously because of COVID, I wasn't able to do them. I had ticket credit for me and my family because I was going to teach a week. My family was going to come for a week, and then I was going to teach another week. So I was going to book in my retreats, and we had everything set with my family. So we have had these airplane tickets, and we actually got to the point where it was use it or lose it. And it has been a lot of swirling head of me trying to figure out in the last 2 weeks. But knowing that this was eclipse season and what I wanted, I was really putting my intention on clarity. And I was really putting my intention on really releasing some of that energy of the past, really letting go completely and totally the sadness of not being able to teach those retreats in 2020, where I was so looking forward to them. And then to understand that my purpose, my being has really changed in the last 2 years, that I'm really probably never going to teach that particular art retreat again. I mean, I know we never say never, but the odds of me actually teaching that particular art retreat that I had planned to do and was still looking forward is really foreign to me. So that was a really interesting thing. Today, if you guys have been feeling a lot of rising energy because of that full moon, like if you were, particularly for the highly sensitives and the empaths, which you guys are in my community, if you were really feeling this rising energy, maybe this nervousness, not quite knowing what was going on, but just feeling a little bit out of sorts, that was because of the eclipse energy of what was happening and all of that energy going on. Today, the eclipse happened last night, but I could still feel that little bit of residual. So when I did my swim this morning, when my mile swim that I did, I really pushed my body extra hard today. I really tried to swim faster. I swam harder. I swam a little bit deeper. And I definitely did more butterfly today because I could feel that my body just needed to really release the last of this tension. Because what happens for me, or at least what used to happen for me, and still does, but not as much, is this energy that is out there, this energy that I'm feeling, because it comes in, I'm primarily sensing and feeling, it comes into my chakras first, and then it starts rising from my root chakra and rises up through my crown. Or it comes in through my crown and it comes down to my root chakra, but it hits my chakras. And so what happened is that energy, if I'm not aware of it, can get stuck in my chest and it can get stuck in my throat. And it feels like anxiety. It can also get stuck in my third eye and feels like monkey mind. Okay. So that's what that energy feels like, to put it in terminology that we can understand in modern terms. That's what that energy feels like. So one of the things that I have learned is when I'm getting that rising energy and all of that is coming in through my chakras, exercise is one of the best ways to be able to release that energy and to embody, right? So talking about integration, which we'll do. Okay, so that helps me embody. It helps me ground the energy. It helps bring it down from my crown, bring it down to the base, put it down into Mother Earth, and really embody who I am. So then that way, once I'm embodied, I can actually figure out what the energy is, what is coming in, you know, do I need to tap in and tune in? Am I okay to be in my home frequency? Is it somebody else? Is it me? I mean, goodness, it can be exhausting, you guys, right? To be a highly sensitive and to be an empath can sometimes be really exhausting. So these are all the ways that I have learned how to manage and control the energy. And when there are big cosmic events going on, we can be where we're not sleeping. So let me know if any of you guys have had a not sleeping. Have you not slept very well for the last 3 weeks, right? You know, have you been waking up at 3 a.m.? Remember I told you that I was, for a week, I woke up at 3:15 on the dot every single night, 3:15. I couldn't stop it. I don't know what it was. It was just 3:15 every single time. So it can feel like that. Okay, here's what I want you to know about the eclipse, okay? It's done now. The doorway is closing. As of today, really this afternoon, we're just in the residual energies of it, but the eclipse doorway is closing. So that means a shift has taken place. The energy is moved through. And if you're having any remaining anxiety or just stress or just feeling in your bodies, just go ahead and take an extra long walk today if you can. Dance around your room, go for a swim, go for a hike, take your dog for a long walk, just whatever you need to do to really physically move and the last of that shifting out of you, okay? The other thing is the moon has really opened up a very big psychic portal this week. So for all of my highly intuitive, right, my highly sensitive, my empath friends, here's what's probably most likely going to happen to you this week, okay? If you have any experiences of deja vu, you're probably going to have more deja vu this week. You're going to have feelings of like, been there, done this, what am I doing it again? You might see repeated things from your past. The very last time this energy all came together where the planets aligned in this exact same configuration was in 2004. So where were you in May 2004? You might want to go back in your memories, like that file, you know, that card file of your brain, and go back in your memories. And where were you in 2004? Because you may get some deja vu from 2004. It's interesting. In 2004 in May was when my teaching, my actual going out and teaching art really started to ramp up. So it's very interesting that in May in 2000, right now, 2020, what are we in? 22, you know, my teaching has really ramped down and it's just morphing into a completely different form of teaching. So that's what's happening. So you'll feel that you may still be having some sleeping issues, but that should be fixing itself. It should be coming to a close. And you also might just get really intuitive hits and downloads this week. So those of you that have psychic visions, that have your psychic symbolic sight, you're probably going to have much more active. Your third eye is going to be active this week, and you're going to have much more visions and symbolic sight. If you are more orally psychic, intuitive, then you probably will be hearing a lot more. You'll probably be hearing the whispers of your team. Those of you that get information in music and songs, pay attention that when you're on the radio today, pay attention because they're going to be talking to you a lot more this week. Okay. Those of you that are energetic and you feel it where it comes in and you're really empathic and it comes in that way, again, you might be feeling it more this week. So just remember that when all this stuff is going on, one of the best ways to embody your body is to really be in your body. Do the things that make you happy. Make sure you do movement. Don't sit too much and drink a lot of water. Okay, I'm going to take a sip right now. Be sure to drink a lot of water. Okay, I'm going to go back and read a few comments really quick, and then I'm just going to get into the next thing, and then I'm going to pull some cards. Okay, so let me go back and read things. So Ashley says 3:12 a.m. every day going on for 12 days now. Yep, Ashley, that's exactly, you're empathic. So let's see, Katie's, I'm on an extra long walk right now. Perfect, Katie. That's exactly what you need to be doing, is to get that extra energy moving through. Like I said, I did that really hard swim today. Kim says, I haven't been sleeping well, slept a few hours, wake up, sleep a few, wake up, and lots of leg cramps. Yep, the leg cramps are in there too. That's part of it. Kim, if you're getting those leg cramps at night, make sure you're moving a little bit more, okay? So I know you work and I know you have a lot, and I know movement is always a little bit challenging for you. But I don't know if you're able to do legs against the wall. I don't know if your back, Kim, actually allows you to do this, but you guys, anybody who's having leg issues or you're feeling like you need to be more grounded, if you scoot your butt all the way up against the wall and you actually put your legs up against the wall and you hold that pose for about 15 minutes, it will actually bring your blood pressure down. It will actually bring more energy back into your head, right? So you won't feel so spacey, believe it or not, and it will ground you. It also is great for lymphatic drainage. So for anybody who has issues of your lymph system or your energy moving slower, legs against the wall is an amazing tip for embodiment and energy movement and energy flow. Okay. So Victoria's here. She says, happy Monday. Let me go look and see. Susan says she saw it too, and she got a pleasant jolt when the moon was covered. That's awesome. You got an energetic jolt. Okay. Oh, good. Jennifer Priest is here. Hi, Jen. So nice to see you, JP. Good. Okay, you guys, I'm just saying hello to everybody, and I wanted to talk a little bit about that. Yeah, lots of crying, JP. That's the energy moving through, and that's the moon energy. Okay, so that's the lunar moon energy. You guys, whenever we're dealing with the moon, we're dealing with emotions. So it's definitely a very emotional time right now. And in order to, crying is one way to move the energy. If you get tired of crying and you don't want to cry that much, a good walk, okay? A good walk, a good swim, getting that out there will really also help move that energy through. But remember, I love tears. I'm a crier, right? And tears mean truth. So I don't ever try to stop the flow of tears, okay? Ever, okay? Okay, you guys. So the last thing I want to talk to you about really quick, I wanted to make sure to talk about the eclipse because it's huge. And I didn't talk about it last Monday, and we were in the middle of eclipse, and I was like, oh yeah, I have to remember to tell my people about that, okay? So now the next thing I want to do really quick before we go to the card readings is I want to circle back around to last week's Magic Mondays, because last week's Magic Monday, I talked about the importance of spiritual integration. What was spiritual integration? What is integration when it comes to even just physical integration, right? So personal development integration. And I don't want to go over it again because I have that replay up always. You can always go back and look at last week's replay. If you are a subscriber to my newsletter, I also have a YouTube channel, a Soul Star Magic YouTube channel now, where I take the love and learn portions of our Magic Mondays and I edit them out and put them onto YouTube so you can easily go back and find them. But the thing about integration is that it's so incredibly important. And it's something that really gets overlooked a lot in the spiritual community, the higher consciousness community, which it's called, and also the personal growth and development community. So there is always this, tips for crushing it, getting, how to get more, do more, be more, all of that other kind of stuff. And so personal growth and development is huge. And I love reading books on personal growth and development, and I love learning and all of that other kind of stuff. But there's a point to where you need to just take what you know, what you've learned. You need to take this higher vibration energies and you need to actually integrate it into your body and become that person, right? It's when you have to stop being a human doing and become a human being. And that really means to integrate, to be in the moment, to really embody the process of it, okay? And that's what I talked about last week. One of the things I realized when I was going over it, when I was watching the video as I was editing it, is that I didn't actually tell you how to integrate. I didn't give you any tips or advice on how to integrate. So I wanted to just take a few minutes on this Magic Mondays, and I wanted to give you 3 possible ideas for integration, okay? So, and I wrote them down. Remember, I write them on my little sticky notes, so I have them here. So this is a really interesting one, and this is for those of you that love the metaphysics part of my talks, the ones who really love the higher energies of the talks, when I really talk about those kind of more esoteric or more conceptual things, this one is for you. And then for those of you that like practicality, I will be coming to you on the last one, okay? So for my esoteric peeps, for the people who love concepts and particularly metaphysics, here's one of the things that I would love to challenge you to do with integration. I would really love to challenge you to think about integrating your humanity and your divinity, okay? Your humanity and your divinity. So what that means to me is that I would really love for you to seriously think about and be willing to embrace the and of you, right? So you are human and you are spirit. You are human with all of our foibles, all of our beautiful lessons, all of our, 87 different emotions that Brené Brown cataloged in Atlas of the Heart, a book I just read and I love. We are that. We are human. We are everything from love and light and peace and compassion to anger and jealousy and fear and envy and all of those emotions, right? We are that range of emotions. We don't like to admit that we are those lower vibration emotions, right? Higher vibration, lower vibration, whatever, or forward leaning, back, however you want to catalog them. I don't like to say they're good or bad, but we are that. We are human. And one of the things with me doing this work, since I've been doing these intuitive readings and since I began Soul Star Magic, it is really important for me to embody my humanity while I'm still tapping into my source and tapping into my team, my spirit team of guides and angels, to try to deliver the message as a spirit, right? To be that, what is it? Translator, right? So I guess that I'm a translator of spirit, and also to try to be a positive role model of spirit so I can try to live, embody, and role model the things that they are telling me that are important to our life as part of humanity. So I want you to think about that concept, embodying, embracing both sides of yourself, your humanity and your divinity. There's a saying that says that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. I also think we are human beings having a spiritual experience. We are, and you can hold both things to be true. That is the law of duality. There are things that are duality. and it doesn't have to be black or white. It can be an and both things can be true. So the other thing I love about this is when you embrace your divinity and your humanity, you're actually embracing what is called your sacred wild. And I just love that concept, your sacred wild, right? So the wild human part of you that has the full range of emotions and experiences, and the sacred part of you who is a piece of God, a piece of source, a piece of higher power, whatever you want to call that, whether you call it God or universe or whatever, right? That bigger and greater something in us, that unified field that connects us. You are a spark of source energy. We are a spark of source energy, and we are divinity. Okay, good. Okay, I'm going to take another drink, and then I got another thing I'm going to ask you, possibly to integrate. So here's another idea for you on integration. If you don't want to integrate the humanity and the divinity, here's another idea, okay? This one is a little bit more human, right? So this is more, it's still a little bit esoteric, but here. So what about integrating your desire to let go, right? To just kind of be, and to be a human being instead of a human being doing. What about integrating that desire with your desire to let go, with actually letting go, with actually taking steps every single day to be totally in that space of non-thinking, to be totally in the present and totally in the moment. For me, meditation does that for me. It allows me to be where I am. For me, swimming allows me to be in that place of actually letting go, because I am just in the motion of swimming, and I am just doing my exercise, and I'm not thinking, and I am just being, I am fully present. So what would that look like for you if instead of just saying, I desire to let go, to actually be letting go, to be present, to really feel presence in your life? Okay, so there's a good one for integration. Okay. And here's the last one for my practical friends and for a lot of you in my community. This one is an awesome one, and it actually is going to be a very easy one for a lot of you. One of the best ways to integrate is to make art, truly. Whether you're an artist or not an artist, whether you call yourself a creative or you don't call yourself a creative. I could actually go on a tech forum right now and say, hey, you want to integrate, make a piece of art, and people would be like, what are you talking about? To you guys, this isn't crazy, right? This doesn't seem out of it there, but truly creation, the act of creation itself is one of the best forms of integration. Because, let me see, I actually wrote it down so I wouldn't forget this. I want you guys to hear this. Creation is one of the few aspects of soul that incorporates every aspect of your being. So think about that. Your soul, our soul, who we are, our higher self, the who we are before, during, and after, the soul spirit, the one that is eternal, the thing that integrates and actually uses and incorporates every single aspect of our being, our physical, our mental, our emotional, and our spiritual, is actually the act of creation. So if you would just make something this week, just make a card, doodle, make a full art piece, make a piece of jewelry. This is a piece of jewelry of mine. So make a piece of jewelry, just paint a rock. JP loves to paint rocks. She's really good at that. Deborah Quartermain, she's always creating and making something. So if you want to integrate your mind, body, and soul, and integrate your full spirit, make a piece of art this week. Hitomi makes art every single day, you guys. She is an amazing artist, and she is always doing something. And Hitomi, isn't it one of the best ways for you to be in your home frequency, making art, because you make art every single day? Okay. Okay, that's all I wanted to tell you about integration. And then I'm going to go back. I'm going to look at what you guys are saying. I'm going to answer a few questions. And then I know I'm getting you guys, my nose is itchy. I'll be getting to the readings. I promise it's getting to that time. Hitomi, you can go ahead and start getting it ready of whoever is going to be up on the plate for the card reading. So let me go back and read a few comments. Ashley says, love Brene Brown and all her books. Me too, Ashley. That Atlas of the Heart book, I got it as an audiobook, and I was driving between here and Phoenix, and so was listening to that one, and it was amazing. So, okay, let me see what Ken says. Ken says, can humanity and divinity be angry? I'm angry about racism in our society. I think I could accomplish more from a loving place, but I'm angry. Can these feelings coexist? Oh yeah, Ken, all of our feelings coexist. You know, when you are, because you are an empath and you are so incredibly in tune, Ken, there is, I think, anybody who's not angry about what's happening in our society, who's not angry about racism, who's not angry about how you know, LGBT community is done, how feminism, and not angry, you know, not that I want to get into the politics right now of the Roe versus Wade, but you know, that is a major topic right here. And I can tell you for me, and I may upset a lot of you, but my own personal view is, you know, I am definitely worried about what's going to happen there in terms of Roe versus Wade, you know? So, so there's a lot to be angry about in the world. And one of the things in our spiritual community, again, the higher consciousness community, if we only focus on love and light, only focus on love and light, it's called spiritual bypassing, and it doesn't work, right? That's ignoring the dark and only focusing on the light. The dark exists, the law of duality exists, Ken. So we are, and within us, right? We are loving and kind. We are envious and jealous, right? We are love and light and compassion, and we are bitchy and moody sometimes, you know? Trust me, I try so hard to be in non-judgment, and luckily doing the readings keeps me in non-judgment, because when I'm in making that safe space and that safe container, it's not about me, and I have to ask my ego to get out of the way, and I go in with non-judgment. But when I'm in my home frequency, when I'm in my humanness, Ken, you bet I can run my judgments fast and hard and quick. I can run my separateness of people who don't believe the same way as me, and I can put us versus them very quickly. So it is very normal, common, and probably even very healthy, Ken, to be both, to be and, okay? To be angry and loving, all of those things. It's just the world we live in today. You can't look at what's going on out there and not have some sense of sadness, you know, just anger, frustration, I don't know, you know, other words. So it's failing me right now, but that's it. So, okay, let me go back. That was a good question, Ken.